hold your tongue. Don't say anything. Keep it to yourself. Be quiet. Zip the lips. These lips, always talking, always giving, always oversharing, always letting people know, always telling all the information. Zip it. At least temporarily. At least until you have all the facts. At least until you know people's true motives. Listen, hold on. I am so used to people being, or at least looking at people as trustworthy. I'm trustworthy. I feel like other people are trustworthy. So when they ask for some information, I'm going to give it to them, because what could you possibly be doing? We're seeing time and time again that people are not doing what they say they're doing. They're not who they say they are. You're somebody that can be trusted, but with that responsibility, people are also still playing with you and thinking that you're naive. They're the grimy ones, you're the innocent one, and they're thinking that you don't peep them. So first of all, please be aware of people's intentions. If they seem like they're untrustworthy, they're not trustworthy. If they give you any reason to believe that they are not who they say they are, or they don't mean what they say, believe that and take that, okay? Don't give people second chances. Make them almost work for answers. Don't give all the information away. Now, if this is like, I know a lot of times this rhetoric comes with, keep your mouth closed when you have something good going on. And that applies to that too, because not everybody's going to be happy for you. People are going to be looking at you sideways and jealous and doing this and all that and try to manipulate. Oh yeah, for sure. So definitely, if there is a lot of finances coming in and abundance coming in, keep it to yourself. Who needs to know? Nobody but you and the Lord need to know. And whoever really needs to know, like the bank. Other than that, your mama don't need to know. Your sister don't need to know. Your closest, bestest friend don't need to know. Okay? There's going to be people who are also, pretending like, oh, I just need to, can you do this for me? Or can you let me know this, that, and the third? You really need to be discerning about what information you're giving. Sometimes you don't need to give it anything at all. Sometimes we're just omitting. That's not lying. Well, listen, sometimes it's really like, I'm not going to respond right away. I'm going to let you rock on that. I'm going to let you sleep on that and really decide what you need to say. Don't be so quick to respond when you don't know the full story. Don't be so quick to divulge information when there is a different way to go about it. Maybe you need to give a little bit. Maybe you need to ask some questions first to be clear on what's really going on, and not just think that they're in it for the best, that they're going to do the best thing with whatever information. Don't assume that they're going to do the best, especially when you have peeped that they might not. When they have shown you some of their true colors, don't say this time, oh, I'm just going to trust and I'm just going to let it go. No. You can hold off on some of that information. You can wait a little bit. You could say, well, what do you need it for? Like, oh, well, what's this about? Oh, are you sure how this is going to go? Can you tell me exactly where my information is going? What are you going to do with that? This and the third, anything. And let me calm down, because this is something that I'm just now going through, and it can feel like a little bit guilty when we're being told like, hey, don't say too much. Oh my gosh. When you're just like, oh my gosh, am I wrong? Am I bad for withholding information if I don't respond right now, and I give it some time, and I kind of go around some people and I go above them just to make sure that my I's are dotted and my T's are crossed. I got to make sure I'm good, and I got to make sure I'm not getting scammed. I'm not getting the wool pulled over my own eyes. It's about self-protection. So at the end of the day, bump all that guilt. It's not about, try not to worry about it. Like, let me breathe. We can feel a little bit guilty sometimes and say, oh, this doesn't feel right. This doesn't feel morally right to withhold information, or to not give them the full story, or to, go to the boss's boss just to double check some things and to make sure that this is right. You're looking out for yourself, and you're looking out for the people involved, because that's the thing about you and your responsibility and who you are. You are a trustworthy human being, and when you're doing this, it's for the protection of everybody. If it's just you who's in this, then it's for the protection of you, and that's all that matters. Make sure you're good first before you're starting to assume that everybody around you is for your highest good. It only takes one time for you to understand, like, actually, no, I've seen this behavior before. They already treated me bad before. I'm not going to let them play that game again with me. But you're somebody who is trustworthy. You're somebody who is will do the right thing. And so you going maybe around a boss to get to the boss's boss just to ask questions. Like, you're not manipulating and conniving and tricking. No, that's not your intention. Your intention is to make sure that everybody involved is getting their justice and making sure that nobody's pulling the wool over anybody's eyes. Not if you got to say. So be careful about how quickly you respond to people, how much information you give away, and just what's necessary to say and what's not necessary. Is this necessary right now today? If yes, okay, all right. Now listen, I'm not saying to lie. I'm not saying that at all, but I will say, take a step back. Look at what do I actually need to divulge right now? What's legally appropriate and legally not? Is the people I'm talking to doing the right thing or not? What do I know my rights? Do I know the legalities of this whole thing? If there are legalities involved, if there's not any of that, still ask those questions. Who is this person? What have I seen them to be? Do they need to know the information? Do they need to know all the information? Is the information needed right now? And can I wait and think and hold off on this until I get a clearer mind? Because sometimes things be getting exchanged in the moment and our feelings can take over and we can be angry or we can be trying to defend ourselves. And then next thing you know, all the information is out there. You're spilling the tea when you shouldn't have been spilling the tea. Like, we're going to have to slow down a little bit. And I know I'm rambling. We're going to have to slow down a little bit and really think about what we are saying, the energy we're saying it in. Can somebody look under between the lines? Do you need to speak in code sometimes? Sometimes you got to do a little wink to somebody if you're around other people. If you're literally in the vicinity of somebody who don't need to know something, do you have to speak in code? Do you have to just say, nope, we got to finish this conversation some other time? You shouldn't feel guilty about that. Don't feel rude about that. It's out of self-protection of yourself and anybody else that's truly involved, who truly needs to know and who you care about, okay? I think that's it. Keep your mouth closed as long as you can. And when you do have to divulge information, make sure it's what's needed and that everything, all the information too. So nobody can trick you and say, oh, well, you got to do this. And say, no, I already figured out what I needed to do. I already figured out the process. You're lying to me, and I already know because I'm 10 steps ahead of you. Sometimes you're not responding right away, so you can go ahead and get the information on the back end. So you can go ahead and figure out, okay, this person said this. I don't quite trust them. Let me go over here to whatever, HR, the boss of the boss of the boss, and just really ask those questions. And ask it in a way that's really innocent almost, because you are innocent, right? Like, hey, I'm just double checking. Is this right? Is this wrong? Let me know what I need to do. Is there any other options? Can I do this? Can I do that? Really, 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 truly, truly, truly. You don't have to come with an answer right away. You don't have to come with a rebuttal. You don't need to respond out of anger. If somebody got you all out of sorts and out of whack, you don't have to take a step back. Take a step back and breathe and really think logically before you respond, because that can put you in a hole way worse than if you just waited 24 hours to say, you know what, here's the information I have. And this is, and then at that point, you already know what you need to say and what you don't need to say, right? Keep your mouth closed, at least temporarily. Shush, 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 shush. And after 24 hours, maybe you'll know, okay, no, I didn't need to tell them that. This is how we're going to do this. Actually, I run this show. And they don't even know that you run the show because they're too busy trying to be manipulative. They don't even know that you got one up on them. They don't know you're 10 steps ahead of their game. Come on now. Now, see, this is when it doesn't relate to you getting abundance and oh yeah, when you get your blessings and whatnot, don't tell anybody else. This don't really got nothing to do with that, but it can apply. It can apply. As far as maybe legalities of you got to tell me. People will say all sorts of stuff to get their way. They'll lie to you and tell you that they need this information. They need you to tell them where you're going and what you're doing and who you with because it's out of safety. Because I got to make sure, the bank this and blah, blah, blah. It's no, none of that's true. Make sure you do your research, okay? Make sure that you're protected and you're safe and that you don't let somebody else try to sweet talk their way into knowing information that they don't need to know. And that's on period. I hope you got something out of this, and I hope you get to learn those things before it becomes too late. I hope you get to peep somebody's game and practice the skill before you really get the money or the big thing. Because right now, I think there's little small crumbs. I think you see it sometimes where it's like, oh, how was your weekend? And it's like, do you need to tell them how your weekend was? Do you need to say, oh yeah, I went out with my kids this weekend and I went to XYZ and we spent this much money? Like, some of y'all understand that. Oh no, baby, don't, You say it was good and keep it pushing. So some of you understand that. Good job. Claps, claps, claps. I need to work on that too. Because initially it feels like, well, why do I gotta withhold information? Like, you don't know how grimy people are. You don't realize people's motives. They're not as clean and as pure as yours. And that is unfortunate, but you're going to have to protect yourself and your coin, your funds, the things that you've built. You're going to have to protect it. And it starts with that tongue, and it starts with that mouth, and it starts with these thumbs. How much are you texting? How much are you saying? How much information are you divulging? How smart are you being? How strategic are you being? And this is not lies. This is self-protection. And this is, okay, well, maybe it comes to a point where it's like, okay, they do need this information. Let me tell them this and that and the third. And I'm going to say it in a very frank way. And I'm going to make sure, even making sure that you're not going around and when you're asking, let's say you're asking somebody different than the person that you're talking to, right? You're going over here and you're asking, hey, and you're trying to dot your I's and cross your T's. Even making sure that you're not spilling beans in a way where you can kind of get caught up later. Now that's kind of like, you have to really think about, can you trust this other person that you're going to? You don't really want to say, oh, XYZ is being an a-hole and I just want to make sure that they not trying to run one over me. Like, don't even say none of that. You say, hey, I'm just trying to make sure for myself that I'm doing it, like, very, very professional. You see what I mean? You see what energy that is? It's very like slick, sly, strategic. Not even letting emotions, because I could have went and said, they're blah, 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 and I think that's wrong, and I don't trust them, and like, you, hold on, can we trust this other person? Like, I'm pretty sure we can. They haven't given you a reason not to trust them, but still, that would not be the time for you to put all your trust into them. Like, no, still hold it back a little bit. Still be like, you know what? Very professional, very, what do I do? What's the right thing to do? Like, I want to come, like, I'm trying to do the right thing. When in your back of your brain, you're trying to be like, okay, they said this, that, and the third. I'm calculating this. And you said that. I don't know if I can trust this. Like, I seen the way you move and you move, but I can trust you a little bit. So let me start it real easy. And then let's see how it feels once we get into the conversation. And do I need to take back this conversation? Do I need to, like, let me not tell you everything I'm trying to do either. I'm trying to fill you out too. Like, it's gonna take that. Okay. Be strategic in your moves, how quickly you speak, how much you say. Okay. Out of protection for yourself and the people that you love, truly, 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 and who has your back. And be aware of who doesn't. And this is tough. This is tough love, because it's like, dang, do I really have to be like that? It's like, yes, you actually really do. And that's a hard lesson for me, because I'm like, I feel like I give people a little bit too many chances of feeling like, oh, they'll do the right thing this time. Oh, yeah, they will. And it's like, no, they won't. I haven't seen them do one right thing yet. I'm just hoping that they will. It's like, no, we're not going based off of hope. We're going based off what we see. And at this point, like, I'm going to have to be a little smarter, just because there are other people involved. And I feel like it's part of my duty to be smart, for the good of all. So despite how I feel and despite how stressed out it can make me, like, it's part of your job too, especially if there's other people involved. And even if it's just you involved, you don't deserve to be taken advantage of. And you know that. You don't deserve to be, I mean, there's no other way to say it. To be lied to and manipulated and have your information or anything that you are doing used against you. You don't deserve that at all. Especially when you would never do that to anybody else. If you ever had to, look, I don't even know. I was going to say leave something in the comments, but at this point, just hush.